The #1 mistake people make with air fryers is buying the wrong one. And I don't want that happening to you. If you're upgrading, replacing a burned out air fryer, or buying your very first one, keep watching because I'm going to save you time, money, and frustration. My name is Cathy and my viewers call me the air fryer queen. And that is because I've tested out more air fryers than I care to admit. And on this channel, I've done like more than 321 air fryer recipes. And probably the most asked question I always get is, if you could only have one air fryer, which one would it be? And I'm actually going to rephrase that question for you. What if I never made another air fryer YouTube video again? Which one would I keep using? Sounds like a better question, right? To answer that, you're going to come with me to my kitchen, and I'm not going to just review my favorite air fryers. I'm going to put my top 3 forever fryers through a brutal side-by-side cooking battle, and that's going to help you decide which one deserves a spot on your counter. Ready to see it? Let's go. As you're shopping for an air fryer, I suggest you keep these 5 things in mind. Think about the size, the power, the material it's made from, the functionality, and bonus if it has awesome features, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. #1, the type. I recommend basket style air fryer over oven style air fryer every single day. It's easier to handle. You don't have to grab oven mitts or hot pads to pull food out, maneuver the food. It's easier to clean up. You can just pop the basket in the sink, wash it out, or throw it in the dishwasher even. It cooks faster, and that's simply because it's a smaller chamber, and it's easier to like move around your kitchen or take it off your counter if you want to. #2, the size. Do not get anything less than 6 quarts. Even if you're only air frying for 1 or 2 people, just go with a 6-quart air fryer. And heck, let's not even worry about quart size. Let's talk about the horizontal cooking space. I recommend at least 9 by 9 inches wide, and I recommend a square basket instead of a circular basket. You're just gonna be able to maximize your space. Now, when we talk about power, what I do recommend is at least 1700 watts for these 6-quart air fryers. The larger it gets, the more wattage you need. Otherwise, food will just take longer to cook. And then you're gonna wanna factor in the material. For some, Teflon is just a no-go. The air fryers I have picked are all ceramic coated and they function well, they're still easy to clean. And then functionality, it matters. If you can't figure out how to just use the basic features of the display panel, then you got a little bit of a problem. The 3 air fryers that I'm going to show you today are all intuitive and, in my opinion, very simple to use. And lastly, the features. This has been the fun part about watching the evolution of air fryers over the last 5 years of doing YouTube. Air fryers have gotten smarter, they've become more intuitive, and there are some really awesome features that are available out there. Now, before I do that side-by-side cooking session, I want to speak to the glass basket air fryers a lot of you have been asking me about. You love it because there's nothing touching your food. And so I actually bought the top rated one from Amazon as of October 2025, and I'm actually sending it back, and this is why. While the material is safe, the usability is dangerous. The exterior of the air fryer, like the glass, it gets extremely hot, like above 200 degrees on the exterior. And the basket is crazy heavy. Not to mention the nightmare of an interface. It was so terrible to use. I was really frustrated. The glass air fryer department, it needs more work. It needs some help. And I'm not going to be giving any of them a stamp of my approval until we get those things figured out. I know you're dying to see what are the air fryers I'm talking about. We've got the Cosori Turbo Blaze, the Typher Sink Air Fryer, and the Typher Dome 2. We're gonna test crispiness and speed with frozen French fries. By the way, these Costco French fries are the best. I'm measuring out 1 pound of fries for each of these air fryers. And we're gonna put these in each air fryer. Note, these are not preheated. And we're just gonna use my air fryer cheat sheet, 400 to 12 to 18 minutes. I'm gonna just go with 15. While these are working, I'm just gonna share a few specs with you. As far as wattage, all 3 of these are 1750 watts. And another thing to consider, especially if you're moving your air fryer off and on your counter, is the weight. The Cosori Turbo Blaze is 13.8 pounds. You can see it's a little shorter here than the Typher Sink, but the Typher Sink weighs 14 pounds, so less than a pound more, but it does have more capacity for sure. And then the Typher Dome 2, that one comes in at 20 pounds, and that's because we've got a burner on the bottom and the top, and we have this whole self-cleaning oven feature going on. We're about halfway through cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and give each one a shake. Note that all three of these have the safety feature where they just turn off when I open it. When I close it, it just automatically turns back on. And a few other things to note while these are cooking. The Cosori Turbo Blaze, nice big display here, nice big numbers, temperature, time. We've got these basic settings here. Honestly, not too much changes. This has all of these are on the highest fan speed. The fan speed goes lower as we use any of these top functions here, and you'll see the fan speed will change right here. It's going to show you what the fan speed is, so that's a nice feature of the Turbo Blaze. The Typer sink also has a very nice big beautiful display here. The difference here is everything else is not illuminated while it's running right now. Obviously just using the air fry function. We got the temperature here, the time, the pause, the play, the power. This little guy is indicating the battery life on the wireless thermometer that just stores super nicely right here. When we take this out, it changes the settings that we're using. So I'm gonna leave that here right now, let this guy finish up. And then Typer sink, again, just pretty clear on, you know, changing temperature, time, all the other settings are hiding while this is air frying. But very simple to understand, very simple to read and use. Crispy. Woo! Very nice. Very nice. Side-by-side comparison here. Cosori, Typer. A little more browning here on the Typer sink. Typer dome here, looking nice. We obviously had room. We could have added more french fries if we wanted to, so that's a bonus. Cosori Turbo Blaze. Just a nice little even cooking happening there. So what do you think? Who won the battle of the french fries? So for this one, I would say the sink, crisp them up, probably the best. Now we test out the bake setting with some cookies. I'm gonna use my parchment liners in these square baskets. Otherwise the cookies, it's just like half of it falls through the grates. And on the Typer, I took the whole grate out because I'm gonna bake right here inside of this pan because we got the burner there at the bottom. And look how many cookies. We got a dozen in the Typer dome, and we could probably fit 9 in here. But since I don't have enough cookies, I'm gonna do 6 in these 2 smaller ones. And I'm gonna use some magnets just to help hold that parchment paper back. And I know that's what you've been wondering, Cosori Turbo Blaze is magnetic, even the new ceramic coated version. And so is the Typer sink. My parchment paper is just a little bit small here. So darn it, wish I had more magnets, huh? Back to my cheat sheet here. Cookie dough, 320, 7-8 minutes. If it's got a bake setting, I'm gonna use it. You can see the fan speed dropped here. Nice and quiet. So now the bake setting is in the app. Now the bake setting is going to lower the fan speed, and it's gonna use some of the bottom burner and the top burner. So I'm gonna set it here in the app, hit start. Settings have changed, and boom. Now I have this super handy chart that I made for the Typer Dome 2, by the way. It shows you what's happening with each setting and when you want to use a grill plate and when you don't. Cookies, very cute. Perfecto. Nice. Oh, they look so good. We always need to let the cookies cool before we taste test them. So maybe my little taste testers will be home in time for that. And yep, I was in a meeting and I came out of my meeting and they've been enjoyed, I can tell. So I get a test. Cosori, Typer sink, Typer dome. Excellent. And the dome. I mean, the dome wins this one because a dozen cookies right there. But honestly, they're all great. Next, we test some bacon, which I think is one of the true tests of the air fryer. We'll see how the grease drains and how smoky the air fryer does or does not get. External temperature of Cosori, about 103. External temperature of Typer sink, about 120. And external temperature of Typer dome, it's the coolest one, 83 degrees. At the end of cook time, we do have a little bit of smoking here in the Typer dome, but no smoking with the Typer sink or the Cosori Turbo Blaze. Beautiful, looks amazing. Incredible. Final result, we got 5 slices in the Kasori, 6 in the Typher Sink, and a whopping 10 in the Typher Dome. At the end of the day, honestly, these all look like they cooked up just perfectly. For the next test, we have some 10-ounce ribeye steaks from ButcherBox. These have been tempering for the last 20 minutes. I pat them dry. I gave them some generous amount of salt and oil. And then, of course, you know I've got to preheat the air fryers. And I'm gonna crank these up as high as they will go. And the Dome has the most amazing steak setting. You have to do it if you've got the Dome. It's gonna preheat it and then, oh yeah, just you wait, just you wait. And since these are running at the very loudest that they ever will, we're gonna do a sound test. So I got the other ones off for a second. So max 62 on the Kasori Turbo Blaze. I'm gonna pause that for a second. Turn on Typher Sink. Running at about 51. Pause. We'll get the Typher Dome running again. Not even hitting 50. This one's the quietest for sure. We're also going to use this Typher Sink wireless thermometer. I've got to keep it in right now while it preheats. Using the thermometer is crazy simple. Pop it out. I'm gonna push it through the thickest part of the steak. There we go. Then what you can do is come over here to the presets, and it tells you right here, it's got everything built in for you. You can just pick your doneness. I'm gonna go medium rare, target 125. Pop it open. Hot. Scoop that. And now it's just going to cook until it reaches that internal temperature. You can see what it is right now. Super smart, I don't have to think about it anymore. This one's nice and hot, just watch what happens here. And now it's just gonna cook. I might even go 5 minutes. I think I'll go 5 minutes. Sizzle, hello. And Kasori, I love that sizzle. 350, I'm gonna do this one 5 minutes as well. Let's see how it goes. This one's done. Yum. Quick internal temperature check here. Okay, it's rare. Ooh. Sizzle. Yes. Oh yes. Look at that. Can't find my thermometer, so yep, I'm gonna just let this sit. Let it sit there, just rest. Oh yummy. It's getting so close. It's almost been 5 minutes. This one's almost done. Alright, 128, 130 almost. I have not even flipped it. So obviously not as much char because we didn't have that bottom burner, but this one's ready. I'm gonna let that rest. It's done. You can see carryover cooking is still happening. Looks amazing. And here they are side by side. Kasori, Typher Sink, Typher Dome. We'll give it a couple minutes and then cut into them. 5 minutes in the Kasori Turbo Blaze right there. Typher Sink, cooked to perfection. And then the Typher Dome. Let's cut it right into this baby. Beautiful. Wow, wow, wow. And here you can see they all turned out pretty darn good. Approximately 5 minutes. I mean, I'm not gonna just sit here and eat steak in front of you, but now that Typher Dome obviously just looks the most beautiful because it has more of that sear from the bottom of the pan. And this one is just like more fluffy. Is steak fluffy? Can you say steak is fluffy? And actually, I made some pork tenderloin medallions in that Typher Dome last night. That recipe's in my new cookbook, by the way. And it turned out phenomenal. Anyway, I used the steak setting, so. I mean, really, these all turned out great. But the Dome is just more fluffy. Maybe it's the steak, I don't know. Which one do you think won? Tell me. All 3 of these, in my opinion, passed every single one of my tests, but they really shine for different people. So my best value pick is the Kasori Turbo Blaze. Why? It's ceramic coated, it cooks great, and you can usually snag it for less than $100 if you wait for a sale. What is the trade-off? As far as advanced air fryers go, it's more basic, but it's better than the old basic air fryers. You don't get the smart thermometer, you don't get the self-cleaning function, oven. You don't get the dual burners, but for everyday cooking, it's gonna perform great. The cons, it's louder than the type for air fryers. And if you love advanced tech, advanced features, then it might not be for you. Now, the best air fryer for my carnivore eaters, my perfectionists, it's definitely the type for sink. I mean, the wireless thermometer changes everything. If you hate dry chicken, if you hate it when you overcook steak and you eat a ton of protein, this one takes care of it for you. I mean, I've never had a more perfect whole chicken than I did when I cooked it in that type for sink. The interface, super easy to use. The thermometer, super easy to use. The cooking results, excellent. The cons, it's a little bit more of an investment, but if you really think about it, it's kind of not. Because a wireless Bluetooth food thermometer, a good one is gonna run at least $60. So when you count that it's like in your air fryer, it just works perfectly, everything's synced up, it's kind of a no-brainer. This one retails for $219, but I have seen it as low right now at about $160. So again, smashing deal. And if you still want to use that wireless thermometer for something else, it will still work on that air fryer. You just don't use the air fryer part. The best one for big families. It does an awesome job at steak, getting a whole pizza. And I have to say, reheating pizzas, by far the best in the Typhor Dome 2 air fryer. This one is just best for big families, but really, even if you're cooking for 2 people, which I know a lot of you are only cooking for 1 or 2 and you do own this air fryer, this is a great one. The self-cleaning mode is just mind-blowing. It cleans up all that gunk all around the burner, which is a problem with all air fryers, and really is just gonna cook a whole lot of food. You can do an entire meal for 2 people in this air fryer. I'm talking 2 meat patties and fries, a full meal, your potatoes, your veggies, your protein, all at once in this air fryer. And it is still the quietest. Like so many times I have to go listen and like, is it running? Is it really running? Yes, it is. It's so nice and quiet. The trade-off on this one is a couple things. It's a larger footprint on your counter, which makes sense because it's a 12 by 12 basket. It's more shallow. It's like under 2 inches tall, so you cannot do a whole chicken, but I have tested, you can do a spatchcocked Cornish hen. And lastly, it retails for $499, but you can always find it on sale. I think the lowest I've seen it is $285, something like that. But it's got high-end features, and high-end features come with a cost. Now you will find coupon codes for these air fryers if you click right here. I also have links down in the description box. And then make sure you know these air fryer secrets because these are gonna be a game changer for your whole air fryer experience. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.